Our next guests are Lisa Tiano and Jacob Lazar. Welcome to Chelmsford Tonight.
Thank you.
So Lisa is the music teacher here at Parker Middle School and the orchestra director, and Jacob is an 8th grader and first chair violinist. Now they're joining me directly from the Woo Sox game in Worcester. What did you guys do there?
We performed the National Anthem of America for the game, and then we sat and watched the rest of it.
Well, that sounds like a treat for everybody in the audience. They get to see a Woo Sox game and they get to see the Parker Middle School perform the national anthem. That sounds really nice. But we're not here really to talk about that. We're here to talk about the very last concert that the orchestra did here in Parker Middle School to end the school year. And fortunately for us, Pete Pedulla was there filming the concert for all the parents and for prosperity. Yeah. And fortunately, he did not click the camera off right when the concert ended because something happened as the auditorium was starting to clear. Jacob came forward with a little bit of announcement, so let's watch here and see what happened.
Thank you so much for being the best audience, and great job tonight, kids. And have a great evening.
Actually, before everyone leaves, could we have the 5th, 6th, 7th graders and all 8th graders not designated to play right now please exit the stage? For all of you who don't know me, my name is Jacob Lazar, and I am the first chair violinist of the Parker 7th and 8th grade orchestra. This is our last concert that we are performing for Miss Tiano. And in light of that, we decided to write her a song.
So Jacob, tell us what happened. Like you totally surprised your teacher. You tell us what went on behind the scenes at school with you and your classmates.
So I had been planning to make this song a few months before the concert. And I initially thought that I would put a bunch of pieces together, and that's what I did. And the whole speaking at that point of the concert was entirely improv on my part. I had a vague idea of what I was going to say beforehand. I just knew I had to say something before everyone left. So
you have a special relationship with your orchestra director, and you decided to work with your classmates to put together you did a composition. You were like a composer, and you actually put notes down on music. On sheet music right here. We have a picture of it, and it's called Mrs. Tiano's Scrapbook. And it's a musical scrapbook of all the pieces that she taught you guys over the year. And how long did it take you guys to compose this piece and practice it?
So there are a few stages that went into putting it together. First, I needed to get all of the different parts because there are 4 different instruments and I think 20 or so different songs that I needed for each part. And that
you had a prolific year of teaching, didn't you?
It was over their 4 years.
Oh,
that they have me, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
So that took like 4 or so weeks to get all of those. And I really didn't get all of them by the end of it. I had to fill in a few blanks. The second part was I needed to cut up pieces of each song and put them together so that they worked nicely. That part involved organizing each piece by key and then putting the chords together so that they would flow nicely into each other. And I think that was the most difficult part of putting it together. And that took 2 or 3 days. And then after that came one of the most tedious parts, I think, of putting it together, which was I did this in a music software called Noteflight. So essentially, I took the pieces of the songs that I had made, and I put them in, note by note, into this music software, which took, I did it in 2 sessions. One of them was 12 hours long. The other one was 6 hours.
And this is all while you're studying for finals and wow.
And then the last part, I think, was the most problematic of the piece, which was distributing it without Miss Tiano realizing, and then practicing it without her realizing.
Wow, that is definitely a labor of love. And the best part for you probably had to have been her reaction when she heard about this. And again, we were able to capture that on tape. So let's see Mrs. Tiano's reaction to this composition in her honor.
This piece has been quite an issue to get to this position. If the effort of getting all of the pieces together and the 18 hours of consecutive work spent putting it on paper wasn't enough, we have also only had 2 rehearsals for this piece. Thank you.
So Lisa, now that you've had time to digest this surprise and that you've had a chance to listen to the music, listen to the kids perform it, and see the sheet music, tell us about your feelings at that time and why you're feeling now about it. And
Well, at first when I was on stage, I was still processing it, trying to understand what was going on. I had so much going on at the time. And then when Jacob was explaining what he did, it was started just like overwhelm me with emotion. Jacob was in 5th grade, I think, when I was doing my master's on composition and its effect on reading in the orchestra. So I think that's when you got introduced to Note Flight. And I looked over the shoulder and I saw what had happened and how amazingly spectacular all the songs flowed perfectly together, key-wise, everything. I mean, it just blew me away. And then afterwards, when we were in class and I asked to see the piece and they played it for me, I'm looking at it and I'm going page by page going, the thought process to go through this and do this as a musician myself would have been a lot to do. And Jacob has always been one of those students that goes above and beyond in class too. And he's at orchestra club and I turn around and he's doing a fiddle tune or he's got a duet going and or like when we were doing the national anthem, he'll turn around and say, "Can I take it up an octave?" And I said, "Absolutely, go right ahead." So, and it just, everything sort of was like emotional because this group of kids went through so much between COVID and hybrid learning and remote learning, and I wasn't sure if they were picking up what I was doing because it's a group thing you do live together, but yet you have to do it on a little screen and you can't hear each other when you're doing it. And it just made it real that they did catch on. They were really enjoying it, and I can't say enough about the students here at Parker and in the orchestra and Jacob. It was just an honor, an absolute honor.
wow, that's really beautiful. I mean, you used to make like a mixtape, right? But this is so much more complicated, it sounds like, because you have the notes. You said one song had to flow into another, and it's really a masterpiece. So let's take a moment and listen to this compilation of Mrs. Tiano's Scrapbook. Thank you for sharing your story with us. It was really a sweet tribute to a teacher, and good luck at the high school next year, Jacob.
Thank you.
And that's our show. I hope you've gotten some inspiration from our guests tonight. Good night, everybody.